The song of the week is African Shabtay by Marbin. Cool. So this one starts with this intro that I get asked about never, but you know, people ask me all the time, so I'll just pretend like they do. They don't ask me about it, but I'll tell you about it. It's this unison line that's pretty wild, right? And if you're thinking about how to count it, you might get confused. We just wrote it because it sounded good to us, and then we figured out what it is, which I really suggest you do if you're just trying to write a unison. It goes like this. I'll play it slow. Now what's going on there? The way I think about it, it's like a phrase of 5 beats that has a 16th note line running through it that's all in B harmonic minor. All the notes here are B harmonic minor. And it's like daga 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 da 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 baga daga 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 daga. So a little bit of a complex rhythm. Now why to count it like that? It's a group of 20 beats. That's just the way that makes sense to me. Again, now, how are you gonna go about memorizing it? The shortest way is you just do it if you want to learn it. You just sort of get good at counting that rhythm, speaking it out loud till you have it. There's no real shortcut there. That's half the phrase. Now the second half of the phrase is identical, but there's an added beat at the end. That line, that last line is basically 6 beats instead of 5. So it's 20 beats for the first melody, 21 beats for that second half of the melody, of the intro. So right, so it lands there. A little bit complex. Now, when I play it fast, I don't really pick everything. I go. The end I do pick. And the end is more like an E mixolydian scale going down, starting from the root. Now the main riff is just an E Ionian thing. It goes. Now I really pinch that second octave E. I go. That's sort of our main riff for this song. Then we get to our main melody. It's mostly E major pentatonic. It goes. I finger things a certain way on the melody for you to be able to play them real quick. So the way I start it, it's a lot of pull-offs, like a downstroke and then 2 ups. And then here, so that 3 note per string thing is just so you'd be able to play it fast. And here, that part. It's really crucial you voice it and finger it this way, because fast you're not going to be able to move across strings any other way that I've found. That's the main melody. Then the B section goes. Then there's a tiny little interlude that the bass plays, what our bassist refers to as a solo, and we call an interlude, and it goes. So I'm just thinking about moving E major-y kind of things with open strings, just nice little chords. Really, it's E mixolydian sound. And then it goes back to another melody, right? So we play through that same exact thing again. Now in the B, there's something in the picking you should know. Right here. So that's up, up, up. Kind of hard to play that thing slow. So that's the entire melody. Now the sax solo is just an ostinato, a riff pattern that the guitar and bass play in unison. What we do is what is that? What Dani, the saxophone player, is soloing on is an asymmetric half whole diminished. This is what the first half of the riff comes from. And he's really using that in his lines. That kind of sound on an E7 that's half whole symmetric diminished. But then when we go to the A7, the second half of that riff, it's really an A7 mixolydian flat 2 flat 6, meaning the notes of D harmonic minor. So that's the sound, and it's a cool sound. So his solo is really only on those two chords. Then right after the solo, we have a little drum solo that's on a figure that goes. Now, rhythmically, it's the first time and the second time are just a little bit different. It goes like, if I count it out, like 1, 2, 3, 4, ba ba bum, ba 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 bum, bum 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 bum, and here, bum 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 bum. So that's the hard part. All on the upbeats. Now the second time, and it's sort of like a big triplet. Da 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 da. Da, 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 right? The second time it's on the beat, so bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And bum, 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 bum. Now we play that same intro riff, but now out over a groove. That's the thing. Now I noticed as I did it now that I do pick the descending line, but I keep the other ones kind of legato. Now I can pick everything. I choose not to. It's a sound thing. To make it blend with the saxophone, who's not tonguing every note, so you gotta make these compromises when you're playing guitar. Even if you're very well practiced, right hand wants to pick it, a lot of time you just gotta listen to what the lines sound like and determine if it's creating the kind of fluidity that you want. After that, we go to a modification of the riff that now is moving between two chords. We have So what happened there? It moved from an E major sound to a C major 7 sound. And it's really an E mixolydian to a C major 7. A lot of people play that kind of sound that jumps between those two tonalities. Pat Metheny has a lot of music like that. I believe that's how that idea got brought to our attention, and we use that as the main backing for the guitar solo. So the changes for the guitar solo move from that E mixolydian to that C major 7 for the A section. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And when I'm soloing, E mixolydian. I do use a ton of triad pairs in this solo in particular. So for the E sound, I'm doing a lot of E to D. And as it moves to C, I do C to D. And I just arpeggiate that a lot of the time. I go. Now the change. So that's a big part of the vocabulary, and you have that D triad in common between the two tonalities, which really makes it a smooth transition. But I do just play a lot of modal things. Some pentatonic-y things work, like playing E major pentatonic on the E and E minor pentatonic on the C Lydian. Really works nicely. So you go from... So that's a sound everybody knows and loves. So the B section goes from the 4-chord A, 1 measure, to the 1 chord, but now it's first inversion, so it's E over G sharp. Then it goes E minor over G, D major over F sharp, D minor over F, E minor over G, A, to the 5-chord B. Now, I really try to outline the harmony on those changes. So I'm really just thinking about that. A, E, E minor, to D, D minor to E minor, A, to B. And then back to that thing between the E mixolydian to the C Lydian. A lot of these kind of licks where I'm sort of playing something that's inside the mode on the E, inside the mode on the C Lydian. Now, the structure of the solo is A, B, A, B, A, and then there's a sort of final section in the solo that's composed. It goes and then we just go and play one final melody, the B melody, and we're done. And that's the song in a nutshell. So we're gonna attach the backing track to this video, so feel free to play over it, study the song. We're also gonna attach the original so you can listen to it, get inspired by our great music, and make sure you leave a comment, do all the stuff, and join our Patreon. We'll see you soon.